The blue light of a high-capacity industrial shredder flickers against the mahogany walls of a 30-room mansion, a rhythmic mechanical growl echoing through the empty hallways of Royal Lodge. It is 3 a.m. on a cold February night in 26, and the Duke of Disgrace is running out of time. For 20 years, these walls have protected the secrets of Prince Andrew, but tonight, the walls are closing in. Under the direct, uncompromising orders of the Regent, Prince William, the eviction of the century is finally reaching its endgame. But as the moving vans wait in the shadows of Windsor Great Park, a far more sinister activity is allegedly taking place inside. This isn't just a move, it's a systematic erasure. According to palace insiders and security whistleblowers, the final hours of Andrew's residency were defined by a frantic, desperate attempt to destroy what some are calling 16,000 dirty secrets, a trove of documents and digital drives that could link the House of York to the most devastating scandals of the century. This is the untold story of the evidence shredder, the panic that gripped the Duke, and the final crushing blow delivered by the man who now holds the keys to the kingdom. To understand the magnitude of this panic, we must look at the specific catalyst that turned a slow eviction into a midnight emergency. In early February 2026, a new set of digital leaks surfaced from a secure server in the British Virgin Islands. These weren't the old Epstein photos we've seen for years. These were high-definition time-stamped images from 2012 and 2014, years after Andrew claimed to have cut ties with the convicted pedophile. One photo in particular allegedly shows Andrew in a private meeting with a foreign trade official and a known associate of the Epstein network, discussing what appeared to be off-book commissions for UK energy contracts. For Prince William, this was the final straw. The Regent reportedly authorized a hard entry protocol for the Royal Lodge security team, giving Andrew exactly 48 hours to vacate or face a forced public removal by the Metropolitan Police. The scene inside Royal Lodge, during those final 48 hours, was described as a war zone of paperwork. For decades, Andrew had operated his own private office within the lodge, independent of Buckingham Palace's oversight. This shadow office allegedly held the true records of his time as a UK trade envoy, records that the palace had never been allowed to audit. Sources say that when the eviction notice was served, Andrew's primary concern wasn't his furniture or his collection of teddy bears, it was the archive. Witnesses report seeing smoke rising from the property's chimneys in the dead of winter, not from a cozy fire, but from the mass burning of ledgers and personal correspondence. This was a man who knew that once he crossed the threshold of Royal Lodge for the last time, his privacy would be gone forever. Under the Regent's law, any item left behind would be subject to a full forensic audit by William's legal team. The 16,000 dirty secrets refers to a specific cache of digital metadata that Andrew's legal team had been fighting to keep sealed for over a decade. These files allegedly contain the Epstein logs, a detailed record of flights, guest lists and financial transfers that go far beyond what was revealed in the New York courts. As the clock ticked toward the midnight deadline, the panic reportedly turned into a technical frenzy. Forensic IT experts suggest that a wipe protocol was initiated on several private servers located in the basement of the lodge. However, the tragedy for Andrew is that in the digital age, nothing is ever truly gone. While he was shredding paper and wiping drives, the Royalty Protection Command, now reporting directly to William, was reportedly monitoring the power surges in the house, documenting the suspicious activity for a future report to the Home Office. The midnight eviction itself was a masterclass in clinical humiliation. William didn't want a spectacle, he wanted a disappearance. At precisely 11:58 p.m., a fleet of unmarked black vans pulled up to the rear entrance. Andrew was seen being escorted out by a small team of security personnel, his face shadowed by a cap, looking like a man who had lost everything. He wasn't being moved to another palace, he was being sent to Wood Farm on the Sandringham estate, a modest cottage where Prince Philip spent his final years, but which for Andrew feels like a high-security prison. The contrast could not be more stark, from a 30-room mansion with a private staff to a small farmhouse in the middle of the Norfolk marshes. But the real story isn't where he went, it's what he left behind, and what he tried so desperately to destroy. The morning after the eviction, Prince William's cleanup crew entered Royal Lodge. What they found was a house stripped of its soul. The shadow office was empty, the shredders were still warm, and the server racks were silent. But rumors are swirling that the Duke's panic was so great that he made a fatal error. In his rush to destroy the physical evidence, he allegedly left behind a series of backup keys, encrypted USB drives hidden within the building's infrastructure. These drives are now in the hands of the Regent's investigators. If these reports are true, Andrew's attempt to shred his way to safety has backfired spectacularly. He hasn't just lost his home, he may have handed William the very evidence needed to strip him of his remaining titles, and perhaps even his royal immunity. This evidence shredder scandal has sent shockwaves through the old guard of the palace. Queen Camilla is reportedly concerned about the precedent William is setting by treating a member of the family like a criminal suspect. But William's stance is unshakable. He believes that the monarchy cannot coexist with the secrets of the York household. By forcing Andrew out under the cover of night and exposing the panic at the lodge, William has sent a clear message to everyone, from Prince Harry in California to the York sisters in London. The 2026 Regency is a season of accountability. There are no more protected basements, no more private archives, and no more shredders powerful enough to hide the truth from the crown. As Prince Andrew sits in the isolation of Wood Farm, watching the Norfolk fog roll in, the reality of his final panic is setting in. He is a man who spent 40 years trying to stay ahead of the narrative, only to be outrun by a nephew who values the institution over the individual. The Royal Lodge stands empty now, a silent monument to a fallen prince. But the echoes of that shredder will haunt the House of Windsor for years to come. The 16,000 secrets may have been turned to dust, but in the ruins of Andrew's office, William has found something far more valuable: the absolute power to ensure that the secrets of the past never dictate the future of his throne. The midnight eviction was the end of the Duke's residence, but the investigation into what he tried to destroy is only just beginning.